So welcome back students. Now we'll start with the next topic in history chapter 1, rise of nationalism in Europe. Now the next topic is the making of Germany and Italy. So in this topic we'll study about how the nations like Germany, Italy and Great Britain were formed. So in this heading itself only Germany and Italy is given, but we'll be studying about what is Britain, United Kingdom. These terms we'll understand. Now, going back to the chapter studied about that there was no nation such as Italy or Germany. Germany area was some parts were under Persia, some were under Austrian-Hungary Empire, and some were under France. So there was no Germany. Now coming to Italy also, Italy was also occupied by different empires and there was no such nations. So how did the unification of Italy or and Germany take place? Now one thing you need to understand in this is that CBSE exams, there's been a pattern that either unification of Germany is asked or unification of Italy is asked. Now coming to Germany, the topic is Germany. Can the army be the architect of a nation? So what happens? The unification of Germany has been done on several wars which were fought for many years, and through that process unification of Germany took place. Now we first come to the map. In this map, this is Persia, this is the Persian Empire. Now this is the Austrian Empire and this is the Russian Empire. This is France. So now all these areas, when they come under the Persian Empire and the unification of Germany takes place, a new country is born. That country is known as Germany. So we'll study what are the steps. After 1848, nationalist feelings were widespread amongst middle class Germans. So now liberal nationalists, they are spreading the ideas after 1848. Persia took on the leadership of the movement. The Persian Empire takes the leadership. Its chief minister, Otto von Bismarck, was the architect of this process carried out with the help of the Persian army and bureaucracy. Three wars over 7 years with Austria, Denmark, and France ended in Persian victory and completed the process of unification. So, three wars in 7 years. First war was fought with Denmark. This area was captured and taken under the Persian Empire. Then another war was fought with the Austrian Empire and this area was taken. Then with France, and this all area was taken under the Persian Empire and unification of Germany was completed. In January 1871, the Persian king William I was proclaimed German emperor in a ceremony held at Versailles. This is a place in France, and a new country was found which came to be known as Germany. New state placed a strong emphasis on modernizing the currency, banking, legal and judicial system in Germany. So new methods were introduced how to make a strong country, and in this they modernized the currency, the banking system, the legal and the judicial system so that a strong country could be built. In today's time, this is the area which is under Germany now. If you can see this. Now we come to Italy. Today this is Italy, but earlier when you go back to the other map, there were different parts. Italy was divided into different parts and it was ruled by different empires, all different empires ruling out here. So now we come to Italy. Italy was divided into 7 states. Italian language had not acquired one common form and still had many regional and local variations. So there was no single language which could unite all the people like the culture movement of Poland. Giuseppe Mazzini had tried for a united Italian republic. He formed a group named Young Italy. This we had studied earlier in revolutionary topic that Giuseppe Mazzini had found was a member of a secret society which was known as Carbonari, and later on he found a group named as Young Italy which fought for the unification of Italy. Failure of revolutionaries uprising both in 1831 and 1848 meant that the mantle now fell on Sardinia, Piedmont under its ruler King Victor Emmanuel II to unify the Italian states. After the revolutionaries had uh, been unsuccessful, now this area is under Sardinia Piedmont. It is under one kingdom, and this kingdom takes the initiative to unite Italy. And how is this going to be done? Chief Minister Cavour led the movement to unify the regions of Italy. With diplomatic alliance with France by Cavour, Sardinia Piedmont succeeded in defeating the Austrian forces in 1859. First, Sardinia under Cavour had a friendship relation with France, and they both defeated the Austrian Empire, and they took all this area under Italy. Armed volunteers under the leadership of Giuseppe Garibaldi in 1860 they marched into South Italy and the Kingdom of Two Sicilies and succeeded in driving out the Spanish rulers. Now this area, Sicily and the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies, these places, this was under the Spanish king from here. Out here is Spain, and this was under the Spanish king. So this one person known as Giuseppe Garibaldi, who was later on known as Bismarck of Italy, so he fought a war with his army and united this with Italy, that is under Sardinia Piedmont. In 1861, Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed King of United Italy. So now this area full, when it is unified, Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed the King of United Italy. So this is how the unification of Italy takes place. Now we come to the strange case of Britain. See, there are many countries out here in these islands: England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Ireland. So these five countries, they are all different countries. Now, what is Great Britain and what is United Kingdom? We'll study about this. The strange case of Britain. In Britain, the formation of the nation state was not the result of a sudden upheaval or revolution. So it was the result of a long drawn out process. There was no British nation prior to the 18th century. So there was no British nation before the 18th century. The identities of the people who inhabited the British Isles were such as English, Wales, Scot, or Irish. So this whole these all islands are known as British Isles, and these are the countries: Wales, England, Scotland, the Northern Ireland, Ireland, and they are known by different ethnic groups such as English, Wales, Scot, Irish, depending on the country they are represented in. They had their own culture and political traditions. So they were following their own languages, own cultures, traditions, society. English nation steadily grew in wealth, importance, and power. It was able to extend its influence over the other nations of the island. Now, England as a country started to progress because of the industrialization and other, because of imperialism and because of the army. It became very powerful and started to gain power, and slowly and steadily started to increase its power on the other island countries. The English Parliament, which had seized power from the monarchy in 1688, was the instrument through which a nation state with England at its center came to be forged. So now the English Parliament in 1688 took the power from the king in their own hand, founded a democracy type of a government, and later on they started to control Scotland, Wales under them. The Act of Union 1707 between England and Scotland that resulted in the formation of United Kingdom of Great Britain. So Act of Union 1707, England and Scotland, they both joined together, and this came to be later on known as the Great Britain, with Wales, which was already joined with England. The British Parliament was henceforth dominated by the English members. So when this became Britain, the Parliament was mostly occupied, all the seats were mostly occupied by the people in England. So this was something like Scottish and the Wales people, they were mostly disregarded the Parliament. Ireland was forcibly incorporated into United Kingdom in 1801. So this Northern Ireland, only the Northern Ireland portion is forcefully taken into United Kingdom. So now what is happening? All these islands, when they come under the influence of England, methods are being done to promote nationalism amongst these states. So now what are they doing? They are promoting a new British flag, which is known as the Union Jack, the national anthem, which is the God Save Our Noble King, the English language. All these were promoted in all the areas which are now under the English Empire. Now what happens that mostly we try to think that Great Britain is also the same or with United Kingdom, and England is also the same. These words are all totally different. Now we'll understand what is Great Britain. Great Britain means Wales, England and Scotland. These three countries, when they are united, so this is referring to this, all these three countries. And the word United Kingdom means that Great Britain, in which Wales, England and Scotland plus Northern Ireland. This is trying to say that for United Kingdom means Northern Ireland, Scotland, England, Wales all put together.